Welcome back to Scarlet and Great. I'm Johnny, your co-host, alongside my legendary co-host, Cory, the Black Panther Thompson.
Real? Oh my God, dude.
You guys, I did not give him that name, and it's not because of what you think. His grandmother gave him that name. They've been calling him the Black Panther since he was a little boy. You guys must believe me about this. If you've ever seen Cory, you know he is the Black Panther. Cory, my friend.
This is the worst.
Don't get overwhelmed that everybody knows your ninja nickname now.
My secret identity is just gone.
Yeah, he is the real Black Panther too. Guys, it's another episode of Scarlet and Great. We're glad you're listening.
Deltona forever.
Yes. Please continue to listen like you're doing. Like, share, hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Tell us what we're doing right. And we couldn't possibly do anything wrong. We know that. But if you have anything, let us know. We'll try to fix it. We really
Joe Burrow did something wrong, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, he did. Joe Burrow did something terribly wrong. Nick Bosa is a terrible human being. But first, before we get into that, how about some good news? We all like a success story. We're Ohio State football fans, right? It's not like the Michigan documentary they just aired. where
they love to show failure in that thing.
Yeah, 3 straight losses. And the only Big Ten bowl losers. The Big Ten was what? 8 wins in Michigan in bowl season?
It was 7-1, which was a perfect bowl.
7 in Michigan. 7 in Michigan.
Yeah, perfect bowl record, yes.
Yes. So, we have a bit of good news. As you guys know, Cory, the Black Panther, the Yeti, Bump Stock, the White Buffalo, he's been on a mission. Since February, he decided to make a life change, lose some weight, get in shape, maybe try out for the Buckeyes. I don't know.
That's common. Yeah.
He started as a defensive tackle, 290 pounds. All right.
I was a one tech. I was plugging up the holes.
maybe you led me to believe it was a little bit different of a 290 pounds than our D.
Yeah, it's not quite the same as like Dramont Jones or somebody or Nick Bosa. It's kind of different.
Not put together the same. But where are we at? It is time for a weigh-in. Cory, it's time for an update. Where are we at?
I'm very excited actually about this because it's the lightest I've been in about 11 years. I'm 239 now, and that's 51 pounds for anybody counting. I broke the 50-pound marker in my last weigh-in, and couldn't be happier about it because it's just. I told you in private message, man, I just felt like breaking down because I was just so happy about it that it's fun to know when you're trying something, you're working really hard at it, and it's working, and your heart's sweating. You're just. All your hard work's paying off. And,
yeah, you haven't had a carb since 2004.
No, exactly. No, but I mean, I get up at like 4 a.m. every morning to make sure I work out, get my Bible study in, and get so I can do that before work, and it makes my workday better actually, and things like that, and just disciplining myself for the first time in my life. And I wanted to address something really quick. Now that I've obviously taken a very big interest in health. I get a lot of ads on Facebook.
Yeah, those algorithms will get you every time.
And the funny part is when I first started, I didn't buy a bunch of things, but I bought into like checking them out, and say maybe they got a system that works or whatever. And I've learned every system works, however you apply it, but it doesn't matter. But that being said, I'm noticing now they all say things like, I look at the transformations, look at these before and after pictures, and everybody in the before picture is like maybe 10 pounds overweight. and they need to lose a little bit. And like 2 months later, they're in shape. But it's like, okay, now show some people who are 350 pounds and then now are like 190. Can you do that? But I mean, and the reason why I bring that up is because, I'm 239. My ideal weight's around 185, 190 for my size. And I realize, I still got flab. I still have a belly and stuff. It's a lot smaller than it was. But,
I bet.
But that being said, sometimes I get like, why am I not toned yet? Why am I not like these pictures? And I realize I still got like about 55 pounds to go before I really hit my ideal weight. So when people out there, I said all that to come to this. People out there who are trying to lose weight, try to get in shape. I've actually had some private messages that people are inspired by it, the weight updates, and I really appreciate that. And such kind words from all of you. God bless you out there in Buckeye Nation. If you're trying to lose weight, don't ever get discouraged if you have a bad meal, if you screw up, if you miss your macros or whatever you're doing, or you miss a day of exercise. Just realize tomorrow's another day. Adjust your discipline level and attack it at a different level the next day. Always adjust your strategy if something's not working. Don't just give up. It can work for you. It works. Every strategy out there works. It's just how hard you apply it. So I just want to offer words of encouragement. Anybody out there who's trying to get in shape, trying to lose weight, just keep pushing. I promise you, I've been overweight for a good 20 years, slow metabolism very naturally, and I had to completely change everything about my diet and my eating habits, and I'm seeing amazing success in only 3.5 months or so. So just keep at it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And it is a marathon. I was overweight. I was skinny fat when I joined the Navy, and I, kind of switched all that around, after years of having a free gym and nutrition advice and everything all around. I remember going back home on leave and my dad basically saying, you're the most improved athlete I had ever seen. Because I played basketball in high school, but I was beyond slow. I was like 10-second, 40-yard dash slow. I don't know if I was that slow. I was really slow. And then I actually got to be an athletic person. So like you said, it is a marathon. It is not a sprint. If you started, 100 pounds overweight, you're not going to be ripped in a year. You're just not. But you can be a whole heck of a lot better than you were the day before, the month before, the week before, a year before. So keep it up, guys. Cory, that's an awesome, awesome transformation. You wake up early, getting your mind, body, spirit all connected in the day. And for those of you who think this show is his job, he runs a family business and has a physical job. So he certainly, the excuses were out there if you chose to go to him, but you didn't. I guess you had enough of finding excuses, because we all do that. We all find uses. We could find a lot of excuses not to do this show. We're always trying to beg, borrow, and steal some time and get on the right schedule. But with that being said, I just want to say, great job, my friend. We're going to keep pushing for you to be a running back by the time the season kicks off. That's our season opener goal, 215.
I'm moving into, I want to be a wide receiver by then.
Oh, really?
I want to be 190, 200 pounds by then. Yep.
Oh, you think you can get there by season kickoff?
I'm going to try like hell, brother.
All right, well, hey, even if you don't, that's still like the encouragement you just gave everybody. So what? You set an extremely hard goal. I think Sammy Sosa, the year he hit 66 home runs, they said, how many are you going to hit? And he was like, 80, 90. He didn't even come close to his goal. But he hit 66 home runs.
Still had an amazing year.
Yeah, so you're well on your way, my friend. Rolling into some Buckeye
other
news.
Bad decisions.
Yeah, from good decisions to really, really horrific bad decisions.
I'm sorry, I meant to say rolling into somebody who must have some excuses for this.
Yeah. Joe Burrow apparently is about to put on 100 pounds.
Of linemen that sack him? Is that what you're referring to?
Well, I guess he's, I thought he transferred from Ohio State because he wanted to go be a starting dominant quarterback somewhere. Well, by his choice that just leaked, it's obvious he just didn't want to be a quarterback anymore.
That's what the issue was. That's why he didn't beat out Askins.
Yeah, I don't want to be a quarterback anymore. So, breaking news, I'm going to LSU. I don't want to run an offense anymore from under center. I mean, I'll take the snaps, but what I do after that wouldn't really be considered quarterbacking. I am going to Death Valley, a.k.a. the place where quarterback careers go to die. That's why they call it Death Valley, my friends. Don't get it twisted. Don't think Troy is afraid of Death Valley. Troy will come in there and whip you all over that field. The place where quarterbacks are an afterthought, and that's where he chose.
I'm speechless about it. I thought it was going to be Cincinnati for a short time there. Bill Green was reporting that he thought Cincinnati was going to be the choice, and Bill Green is a serious guy to listen to. But everybody's wrong once in a while, and when I started hearing more and more LSU, I didn't want to I heard it from sources, but I didn't want to come out and say it because I just was kind of hoping it was incorrect. And I just, please don't go to LSU, Joe. Go to Florida. Florida makes more sense.
It's like he brushed the Florida choice off quick.
I don't get it, to be honest with you. I go to Ohio U. That's a better shot than LSU. I mean, I get it. You're going to be playing top level competition, but you're going to be playing top level competition with handcuffs because they don't like, let the quarterback do anything there, or they can't develop quarterbacks. Basically, everything you've learned from Ryan Day, Urban Meyer, even Tim Beck and Ed Warner by your time at Ohio State, you might as well just take all that to LSU because you're not getting any more education on how to play quarterback there. And I know they like to brag about how many quarterbacks they put in the NFL, but they're all awful.
Yeah, so I have that tweet in front of me actually. Steve Emsinger, the offensive coordinator at LSU.
Is that what they call it there?
Yeah. At the school who forgot how to play offense. This is beyond. He puts out, I guess, a recruiting post, but it's counterproductive. 7 quarterbacks drafted in the last 20 years. Okay, I don't call it an accomplishment to get a quarterback drafted. Just get drafted. But anyways, their names are Josh Booty.
There's so many jokes there. I'm going to leave it alone though.
Rohan Davey. Matt. I should have came up with nicknames for these guys. Matt the Clipboard Mock.
Oh my goodness.
Jamarcus the all-time bust Russell.
That's an embarrassment. We had a number 1 pick. Yeah, he's one of the biggest busts of all time. You beat out Ryan Leaf. Congratulations.
Matt falling off a cliff hugely from your starter Flynn.
Yeah, big time.
Zach the almost but never was Mettenberger.
At least he can have a burger. He can have a burger named after him in the bayou. So that's at least something.
Yeah, I wonder what that would be like. Just covered in ketchup and mayonnaise and no bun, and it just slides all over the place and ends up getting all over. Yeah, that's probably what a Mettenberger would be. And Danny, who is this guy Etling? So
he's never thrown more than 11 touchdown passes in a season. Danny Etling. I think I read that correctly. And
was that while he was in college?
That's while he's in college. I mean, he's not going to ever throw 11 total in his NFL career.
So this is my issue is not that it's really hard to go to the NFL and be a quarterback, right, and pan out. That's not what the standard I'm setting because
unless your name's Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, apparently.
Right? Yeah. I mean, like Ohio State hasn't done it. I get it, but at least the quarterbacks perform while they're there. My gripe is while the quarterbacks are there, you don't do anything with them. Last year, I think the stat was 8 out of the 11 starters got drafted in the NFL, and you lost to Troy. That is the underachieving capital of the world. And I get it, Joe. That was probably the biggest name school as far as football culture. SEC, it just means more. Whatever. It can mean more, and you can still.
It just means more quarterback busts.
Yeah. It means more. I guess it's going to hurt that much more when you lose. So that's the biggest name school, and for a guy who really wanted to prove he could play at that level, I get it. But why go to where you're just not? The odds are so stacked against him.
I'll be honest with you. I'd like to point out, though, we're not pulling against Joe here. We love Joe Burrow.
Yeah, that's why I'm upset. If it was any other kid going to LSU, I'd be like, well, you know what? That's your fault. This is a kid I like and I root for, and it's like seeing somebody you love do black tar heroin. You're just like, no, put it down.
I don't think it's quite that bad, but yeah, it's up there.
Maybe worse, but
I agree with you. He's immensely talented. He's easily the most talented quarterback they've had there since Jamarcus Russell, who, again, we'll point out, is a huge bust because he's lazy. And Burrow is not lazy. He's very talented. He's a hard worker. I thought there was a number of schools that would have made more sense. UCLA, even Cincinnati, Nebraska, Florida, if those were actual options. I know Cincinnati at least was, but he kind of cut it down quick to LSU and Cincinnati. It's like, wow, that's kind of scary because then LSU has a serious shot. He went down for a visit, and then all the rumblings came back that it looked like he was favoring LSU, and I thought, oh my goodness, what kind of snake oil did they sell him? Because how do they sell him on this?
I wonder if Fickell brings that Ohio State mentality to Cincinnati and go, look, the drill. Nothing's guaranteed here, even though that's just what the coaches are supposed to say. You have to earn it. You have to earn it. Even though knowing, I'm sure Joe is better than the next best guy in line at Cincinnati. And maybe LSU just straight up told him under the table, look, we're not going to pretend to be a legitimate football program. You're starting. You're going to be the starter.
How could you not start him? I mean, look at oh my goodness.
Well, how could you see not? But I wouldn't put it past Fickell to do the PR thing and say, look, man, nothing's guaranteed here. You better earn it here. And, I don't know if that scared him off or if it was just the allure of having a bigger name football school.
It's got to be the bigger name football school. I can't think of him being scared of competition at Cincinnati. I mean, he's played with the best of the best in the country at Ohio State, and with talent that's far superior to both LSU and Cincinnati, much more so, than Cincinnati, obviously. But look, I think I had heard that the coaching staff at Ohio State kind of was hoping he'd go to LSU because he could possibly try to knock off Alabama. I think it's possible, but I just don't. I don't think they beat Alabama, not because of him, but because the offensive play calling, the offensive system is like so 1970s. There, it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's Ed Orgeron. They've had a ton of talent on offense there, and they just can't put it together. Their passing game has been a joke since Jamarcus Russell.
They're still 3 yards in a cloud of dust, Cory.
I know. I mean, Woody Hayes would be proud, but Woody's time has come and gone, obviously.
Right.
And I love that's not a knock on Woody. I mean, Woody was an innovator in the game, but it's just not 1975 anymore.
The game's evolved, and they have not. I wonder what the quarterback routine is at LSU at practice. If it's like, okay, guys, defensive line, and linebackers, we're going to blitz. We're going to go pass rush drills for about an hour. Quarterbacks, I want you to hand the ball off cleanly to the running back 40 times, and then go run on the treadmill.
That's probably it.
Quarterbacks, may do some push-ups, run on the treadmill, encourage your running backs. Work on screaming real loud in the huddle. Work on your play calls. That's right. Give me 100 play calls out loud into the microphone. But
and work on high-fiving the running back when he scores.
That's right. And maybe every now and then we're going to work on a fake rollout block package for you. We know quarterbacks are terrible blockers, so we're going to work on you rolling out and whiffing at a block. And then go sit in the stands, do whatever you do, work on your homework.
As much as Ohio State fans maligned J.T. Barrett for some of his poor play, there's not a quarterback since Jamarcus Russell, maybe Matt Flynn in college, but has come close to what JT accomplished at LSU versus what it's.
Yeah, we didn't phase him out of the offense.
Yeah, and that was for sure. But I mean, it's just. I mean, I'm baffled by the decision. I don't know what's so appealing. I understand it's a big name program, but I mean, honestly Notre Dame would have made more sense if he had that option. I don't think he did, but. It's just there's so many schools I could see him at and see him succeeding at, and part of me that was fearful of him going to Cincinnati is we played them in 2019, I think, and what a storyline that would be: Burrow versus Haskins, more than likely, possibly Martell if Haskins blows up this year, and and to see, and of course, if Cincinnati plays a good game against us, it's all of the we should have kept whatever. But I'll say this though, I said this on Twitter, and Ohio State and LSU are not known for developing quarterbacks. I mean, I'm sorry, Buckeye fans, we're not. We put a couple in the NFL. I don't even remember one that's been very successful. So it's just is what it is. And LSU, same thing. We covered that already. But now both schools have legitimate NFL talents at quarterback with Dwayne Haskins at Ohio State and Joe Burrow at LSU, respectively.
And you're not, Cory is not exaggerating. I don't think you guys. Go back and look at, I know it's high school numbers, but look at Burrow's high school numbers. You saw him in the spring games. Again, I know it's spring games. And you heard the rumblings we heard in practice. He's keeping up with Haskins, and Haskins has a cannon. So, I don't think you're exaggerating at all. He really is that good. I just hope for his sake that they figure out what in the world. Maybe at LSU they realized they were bad quarterback recruiters. And that's why they phased the quarterbacks out of the offense, because they realized the guys weren't very good. I don't know, but I just can't see. It's weird, too, because I heard Nebraska didn't pursue Burrow, not Burrow phased Nebraska out, and I don't know.
That's stupid beyond measure. I'm sorry. I mean, I like Scott Frost. I think he's a good coach. I like what he did at UCF.
Or I wonder if they just knew it would automatically be blocked, that Ohio State would just block it, so they didn't.
That's possible too. I hope that's what it is, because if you sit there and see a quarterback of Joe Burrow's caliber, who is a Power 5 starter, folks, he is not some MAC. I mean, when people were talking about going to the MAC, I started laughing. I was like, "Do you realize who Joe Burrow is? This kid can absolutely
He'd be the
play.
best quarterback the MAC had ever seen, besides probably Ben Roethlisberger."
Exactly. And I'll tell you one thing right now, if Haskins didn't come to Ohio State, who has an incredible NFL range, and we had Tristan Wallace instead, I guarantee you right now, Tristan Wallace would be gone from the program. Burrow would have been playing in that Michigan game with a freaking sling on his arm and a sling if he had to. So the broken thumb wouldn't have mattered. He would have been our starter this year without even question. Burrow is an absolute monster talent. And the biggest thing about his game, he's very cerebral. So I think he'll definitely help LSU's passing game. I wish him the best. We all wish him the best. I don't, it's kind of like Noah Brown going to NFL early. While I wish him the best, I don't agree with the decision. So.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of I guess you should say the biggest bright spots are LSU is known for the receivers they put in the NFL, whether they utilize them or not. So maybe he will have that going for him. But we kind of have to wrap that up on Burrow. We are sorry to see him go. We understand, but we do not understand the decision. Maybe more will come in the coming days. And maybe, hopefully, this is a case of a botched leaked tweet, but I doubt it. Because it seemed like all signs were going that way. But anyways, Joe, good luck. I hope you can break the mold at LSU, and maybe it can be named Death Valley for somebody else besides the
We'll be rooting for him against Alabama.
Absolutely. Sure. Absolutely. All right. Next up, guys, you knew this for a long time. I knew it. The Black Panther knew it. Nick Bosa is a dirty, filthy racist.
I think so.
I mean, he's from Florida, like you.
Yes.
That's where all the racists are.
That's true. We hang out at a bowling alley on Tuesdays.
Does Nick throw it like a baseball? Does Nick throw it like a baseball straight? I could see. Actually,
we all have to duck behind the seats when he's bowling.
That's probably more of a Joey move. You ever hear Joey in an interview? Sounds like Rob Gronkowski or somebody. You're just like, gosh, you're not all there, but you are an amazing athlete.
I love Joey though. I don't care. That guy. He says he's sorry when Harbaugh. He said, "What about Harbaugh's first year to Michigan?" Oh, sorry. No, I'm not really sorry.
But you got to put the Joey effect. Sorry.
Yeah, it's very very low key. But Nick's the exact same way. He's extremely low key. Except he obviously we'll get into it right now. He tweeted out that Black Panther was the worst Marvel movie. And, of course, that automatically means he hates all black people, even though he's on a team with, 80-90% African-American kids. So, I mean, clearly he picked the wrong career if he hates black people.
Because it's a spectrum, Cory. Just because he gets along with black people, he treats them equally. He would never say anything outlandish or hurtful or assume they were capable of less. And he absolutely loves people regardless of skin color. You can still be a racist because it's a spectrum, my friend. Where do you fall on the Twitter social justice warrior spectrum of racism?
I'm definitely a racist according to that spectrum. Because if I ever said, first of all, Mike Freeman, we'll get into that second, but took issue with the fact Nick Bosa doesn't like Beyonce's music, called it trash. I got news for you. I don't like Beyonce's music.
What guy? What guy? I know it's a different era. And guys, you guys that are younger than Cory and I, you're wearing your jeans a little tighter. You're getting your toes done. Frosted tips, whatever. And it's a more kinder, gentler, feminine generation. Okay, I get it. But what guy just runs around like, hey, you heard the new Beyonce album? I love it. I love
No, you're right. Guys will go around. You see the new Beyonce video? Oh,
exactly.
Yeah,
she's gorgeous. And I think she's a really, really amazing singer. It's like
she is. She's very talented.
But I'm not into her music. I don't have any of her music on my iPod. It would be weird if I did.
So you hate black people is what you're saying.
So, yeah, if you don't like the Black Panther movie and you think Beyonce's music is trash, all 3, Colin Kaepernick is a clown. Yeah, I guess you don't think it's very cool to call cops pigs in a roundabout way and wear a Fidel Castro t-shirt in Miami where it's a heavy Cuban population and people who know about Fidel Castro and his oppression. Yeah, I guess that does not make you too smart of a guy, but you can't criticize that. So, this is just ridiculous, guys. The kid should be able... You know what Nick Bosa is? He's the anti-crowd, and that's fine. You know, some people don't... you know what? Because of this, because of these opinions, that is why I think it's okay to be in the anti-crowd. If liking all the same thing that everybody else likes makes me like the people on Twitter who's calling him a racist, then I don't want to like those things either. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't like the Chicago Bulls, Cory. I was sick of seeing them win. And you know what? When everybody hated the Patriots, I still liked them. You know what? I'm a little bit of the anti-guy, too. Just because he also said, I think, that Stranger Things was overrated.
I think it was, too.
You know,
but I only think it was overrated because there was a black kid in it, though. That's the only reason why I think it was overrated.
That's probably why he thought it was overrated.
Exactly.
Now it's called coming together. Look, the kid is just a guy that's frustrated with the mainstream. This is what I'm interpreting, and he's a young kid and he has opinions. Now, don't get on your soapbox and say yes, but you have to be careful because of the Josh Rosen thing. Look, this is not in the same world as Josh Rosen.
No.
He didn't say F the president. He didn't do any of that. You know what I mean? He didn't say blank this, blank that. He said he didn't like a movie. He didn't like some music, and he didn't like somebody acting like a clown. I mean, does that make him a bad guy? Come on,
Makes
guys.
him a racist for sure. Look, I actually like the movie. It's not my favorite Marvel movie, but I like it. I like the Black Panther character. I liked him ever since Civil War. I actually was excited about his movie. There's a tweet that came out when that movie came out that some some feminist or something, tweeted out that I hope you white
social justice warrior.
Yeah, she tweeted out, I hope white people feel uncomfortable in a crowd of black people, yada, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I went and saw Black Panther opening night. It was probably 80% African-American black American citizen there. And I felt fine. I don't understand. I was like, I actually had a conversation with several people about how great of a movie it was in our opinion. I didn't care that I was technically, quote unquote, a minority in the theater or whatever. I didn't feel uncomfortable. I didn't even look around to be like,
so you're saying you just were an adult and didn't make a race an issue at every living, breathing, waking moment of your life.
Exactly. I wanted to see a cool movie, which I thought it was. And I had a great time with a lot of good people that were honestly just there to see a freaking movie. I mean,
no one is above this criticism. It's like when they call Dan Le Batard a racist. Dan Le Batard's one of the biggest social justice warriors there is. He criticized Magic Johnson because Magic Johnson thought that Jimmer Fredette and other busts were going to be good players. So he rightfully criticized him, and ergo, he's a racist.
What is it about NBA legends that can't decipher actual NBA talent? It's amazing. Michael Jordan's terrible at it. LeBron James is terrible at it. Magic Johnson's terrible at it.
That is that is an interesting.
You guys are
point.
on the Mount Rushmore of the NBA, and you cannot decipher NBA talent coming out of college.
And it's weird because LeBron's bad at it as a current player trying to be a GM.
Exactly.
Magic is bad at it way after the fact. Jordan's bad at it way after the fact. I mean, I don't know. I did hear Jordan said, though, he could beat all of his roster at one-on-one in Charlotte. But anyways, what's more racist? Me that didn't even see the movie because I'm not into Marvel movies at all or minimally, or Nick who saw it and didn't like it?
Nick, of course, because you have to like it, and you have to not only like it, you have to tweet out Wakanda forever, or else you're a racist. That's just how we are in today's society these days. I mean,
so
it's frustrating.
I'm not officially a racist yet, just because I haven't seen it.
Oh no, you're a racist, but for other things.
Oh, there you go. I'm somewhere else on the spectrum.
You prefer Burrow over Haskins, and you can't do that
because I don't think Nick Bosa is a racist. That makes me a racist.
Yes, exactly.
Well, there's the people like Mike Freeman.
It's a Kevin Bacon 6 degrees of racism is what we're doing here.
There's people like Mike Freeman out there, and we can kind of go through his Twitter page. Freeman, he's basic. You can tell he's kind of a social justice warrior. He tweets out things like Kaepernick's a better passer than half the league, and things like this. Look,
well, that's wildly not true, but
yeah. Look, if the guy was that good, he'd be playing somewhere. Just like, even though this stuff happens, Nick Bosa will probably be the number 1 overall pick. If you can play ball, look, if Aaron Rodgers came out tomorrow and said that he was kneeling for the anthem.
He did kneel for the anthem a couple times.
He was kneeling for the anthem for the rest of the year. All 32 teams would sign him. It does not matter.
Doesn't even include like if there's teams that would file to be a new franchise in the NFL just to sign him. I mean,
yes,
people knocking down his door.
Let's just keep this stuff in perspective. But so Freeman starts. This is what Freeman tweets out. He says, to summarize some of the tweets from Nick Bosa, I'm paraphrasing. He said, Black Panther, blah, Beyonce's trash, and Kaepernick is a quote clown. And then he says, all righty then, all right. So this is people tweeting at him quoting the tweets and replying. So somebody says, God forbid somebody have thoughts of their own. And Mike says, that's not the point. Okay, so what is the point, Mike? So you're saying you're not criticizing a 20-year-old to be able to have movie preferences. Okay, that's not
movie
the
and
point.
Music preferences, apparently.
Yeah. And so somebody else tells him, or maybe he didn't like Black Panther because it had less action in it for an average Marvel movie. Doesn't like Beyonce just because he doesn't like her. And a lot of people don't like her. And a lot of people highly disagree with Cap. I can find you a ton of people that disagree with Cap, Cory. And then Freeman says, you're too stupid to see I did no such thing. Okay.
And what were you saying, Mike?
So what? So then Clay Travis, which love or hate Clay Travis, one thing you have to love about him, he does not let social justice warriors off the hook for a minute, and he will turn them on their head. Clay says, if a presumptive black number 1 draft pick tweeted, Thor's the worst Marvel movie ever, Dave Matthews' music is trash, he went really cliche there, and Donald Trump is a clown, would anyone even blink? Of course not.
They probably applauded, but honestly, I'd applaud him for the Dave Matthews comment. But no, I mean, look, I agree with Clay on this one point. I don't always agree with him, and I that's the point though. Is there's real conversations in society regarding race issues and whatnot that need to be had. That's obvious. But when you clutter it up and muddy it up with this stupid garbage like this, like trying to imply that anybody who says anything that you may disagree with is a racist, or imply that obviously they have an issue with one race, even though the kid clearly has a lot of friends in a locker room who would disagree. It's just so beyond stupid at this point to where, and it actually hurts the idea of actually people sitting down and talking about race in America, because now it just becomes throwing mud at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah,
it's garbage, and I'm sick of when I saw that when I saw people responding to his tweet. It was predictable that they were going to respond to it that way. It's like Katy Perry, who was very obviously an Obama supporter. She was pretty open about it. She actually customized Obama outfits and whatnot. She made a joke about Obama on her Instagram or something. I don't know. It was a really bad joke. And it wasn't even like offensive. It was just bad. It wasn't funny. And people were literally tweeting her saying this is passive aggressive racism. I'm like, now you're calling Katy Perry a racist because she made an Obama joke about it. Somebody had said, I miss your black hair. And somebody said, I miss your black hair. She says, I bet you miss Barack Obama too. Ha ha ha. And I'm like, wow, that's just really not even funny. But, it's passive aggressive racism. I'm like, this is, Okay,
wow.
we can't even talk in America. We need to just tape all our lips shut and not say anything anymore.
Right. And then, like you said, it detracts from the real, obvious, awful cases of racism that we should stomp out in this country. The cases of racism that we should bang together and say, not here. This is not the place for that. And you're ignorant if you feel that way. But because now we're telling people, because if you like a certain political candidate or a certain movie or don't like certain music, that makes you a racist. That's one of the ugliest things you can call somebody. Exactly, you know what I mean? Like, we throw it around so willy-nilly. You know, and to add to what Mike Freeman says in response to Clay Travis, he said, this is false. That's a ridiculous false choice. No one said he couldn't have any opinion he wanted. Okay, Mike, so what is it? You're not saying a 20-year-old can't have preferences. You're not saying he's not allowed to be opinionated. And you're not saying it's about race. So what are you saying? I don't see you on any other college people's Twitter page. So what are you saying? This is what he must admit. He must admit that he's at least saying Nick is racially insensitive or blinded by his culture. Because why else would he tweet about it? The only tweet he quoted and said that he did agree with, somebody else said, nah, we aren't saying he's racist. We're just saying he's a pretty well-off white kid that's really into Donald Trump and seems to have a peculiar taste in pop culture he doesn't like, which lines up well with what Trump doesn't like. Draw your own conclusions from there. All right.
Yeah, right.
So what are you trying to say? Just say it. It's kind of like, Cory, when I said, this was during the Combine. You remember I tweeted out that Troy Apke from Penn State ran like a 4.38 40, and Deion Sanders was so shocked, and Deion said, I am really, he's going on about how shocked he is, and he was saying, you guys know why, but I can't say on TV. He said it out loud. I tweeted out, and I put in parentheses, he's white. I was implying, and I'm not afraid to say, I was implying that Deion Sanders was making a statement about the kid's race, and that was a double standard. Because what if somebody else said, man, I didn't think that black quarterback's Wonderlic score would be so high. How would we react to that? How would
rightfully angry, honestly.
Yeah, rightfully. So when Deion, and guess what? There are a lot of slow white guys out there. It is uncommon to see a white guy run, or, a sub 10-second for, I don't know, anything other than I don't know, McCaffrey was awful quick, but I get it. I wasn't offended by it. But what I was saying is it's a huge double standard. I'm not afraid to say that's what I was implying. All right. So, Mike, what were you implying? You were trolling. I get it. But just come out and say what you were implying. And he kind of did by retweeting this. So if you want to summarize Mike Freeman's view, Cory, he's just a well-off white kid that's into Trump and has peculiar taste. Okay. Leave the kid alone. That's not enough to get onto a kid about. And all you guys that actually got into his feed and said, they were putting that's a little racist meme up. Come on.
I will say this. I will say this. So in Mike Freeman's defense, okay, there is some evidence that Nick might be a racist. And if you've seen the practice videos and what he did to Isaiah Prince in a couple drills, he might be a racist. I don't know, because that was a hate crime. Oh my goodness.
You threw me off there. I was like, what? Where's Cory going with this? There's what? Yeah. You know what? That's Nick, Mike, you should have listed that. You should have said, 1, Black Panther, 2, Beyonce, 3, Kaepernick, 4, absolutely folded a black offensive tackle in half.
It was a swim movie. Just, oh wow, I actually started fearing for Isaiah Thomas's health at that point. Isaiah Prince's health at that point.
That'd be an also equally funny image as Isaiah Thomas trying to block.
Which one? The 5'5" one?
Either of them. 2-on-1, it'd still be pretty funny.
It'd have to be 2-on-1. They're both midgets, man.
Yeah. But this is just, guys, we try not to be, we love sports because.
I'm sorry, I meant little people, not midgets.
Yeah. Cool. I'm going to have to send a tweet about that. Social Justice Warriors attack at Scarlet and Great CT. Run him down, pull him through the mud. Listen, I don't like to get overly political here, and that's what we were trying to do is point out how stupid it can get real fast. And when one of our favorite Buckeyes gets pulled into it, because, he is a little more outlandish than other top prospects in his Twitter page, but it's movies and music. And yeah, now and then it's kind of a Trump supporting thing, but come on, leave him alone. Leave him alone. Leave him alone as much as you would have left a former player alone for supporting Barack Obama. Can we get the same standard of treatment? I'm sure Nick would like the same standard of treatment.
I want to add, I don't care if people respond. You put your thoughts out there as an athlete or whatever celebrity, you're going to have responses. It's just common. But my beef is with that section of society that automatically jumps to racism. You could say he's wrong. You could disagree with them. You could not even you don't have to like his opinions. By the way, I don't agree with him on some things politically speaking. I don't agree with him on the movie, that's for sure. But I just go about my my way, and I go to work and I do my things. I don't really care about it. I send one ear out the other. But there's so many in society, like Mike Freeman is the biggest one at the moment, who just have to start implying certain things about a person's character because they don't like a couple songs or a movie or they disagree with Kaepernick. It's just so ridiculous. Why do we jump to that level? I mean, everything's racist now.
Yeah. Like, chill out, guys. Let a football player like whatever he wants to like. And for those of you saying, well, Nick shouldn't tweet things and he get upset about it if people. I
don't think Nick got upset. I don't think he was actually.
He didn't. He hasn't said anything. I'm saying it. I'm saying, yeah, you do have to be careful on Twitter. He didn't do anything that was really uncareful. Like, he's not out there. These aren't like divisive things. I guess they are, but I wouldn't have thought so. I would have thought you could say these things without being divisive. This is not in the same realm as what Rosen did. I mean, come on, guys. Come on. Pump the brakes. Nick, I know you're a fan of the show. We love you, and we don't think you're a racist. So we need to put this one to bed, Cory. But listen, anything else going on right now? It's kind of been a slow week as far as happenings. The recruiting's really slow. But real quick, is it always this slow at this time of the year?
Yeah, this is pretty much after the spring game. It's going to slow down in May, and then June it'll start to pick up a little bit again. And then July will be pretty hot with Friday Night Lights being in the month of July. So June and July should be a little bit more exciting.
Well, Ford's a Nittany Lion. Well.
Yeah, we kind of that's unfortunate because now we got to play against the guy we were recruiting about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't have been afraid of competition. That's all I got to say. Don't be afraid of competition. And, coming up, guys, we're going to hopefully get into, maybe Cory and I were looking into some DB stuff. We told you that would be the next show, but the developments were really slow there. And there were some actually other interesting things to talk about besides that. So
I do want to point out one thing before we go.
Okay.
Nick Cross is trending FSU now after so many people telling me that it was pretty much a lock to Ohio State. So it's like, I mean, I'm not, my sources are good like 80-90% of the time, so I have faith in them, but that's recruiting, man. It just sways back and forth by the day. It's ridiculous. So I still think Ohio State's in it for Nick, and from what I understand, according to Gleitman, the people around Nick want him at Ohio State, but he's looking at FSU because of ironically, as a DB, he's looking at their NFL development talent. And I'm like, have you seen what Ohio State's done with the DBs in the last few years? I'm just putting that out there. But
yeah, well, I wonder if he was aware of that rumor that we were thinking about putting him at linebacker.
Well, I'm sure, but at the same time, it's maybe FSU's thinking the same thing because I got another really good safety coming in as well. So, I just want to point out he's a trending FSU right now. I don't know if he'll end up at Ohio State now or not, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, these slow months, those were the three I'm focused on: Harrison, Gunnell, and Cross. If you get two of the three, that'd still be huge. And I guess if I had to let any of the three go, I guess it would be Cross. Am I out of line by saying that?
No, you're not. You're crossing Cross off the list. I had to. I just had to go there.
Go to your room.
I will.
No, the out of the three, that would be the one I would sacrifice. That if I had my druthers, if I could get two of the three. Hopefully, after the opening, some decisions will start getting made. And then maybe that'll even give us more of some clarity of who we really want to focus in on.
I agree. We'll see what happens.
All right, guys. We appreciate you listening. As always, it's the Scarlet and Great. Come back, listen to us again, like, share, and comment. Let us know how we're doing, how we can do better. We love you guys. Good night. God bless, and go Bucks.